Good morning. This is going to be the Sagittarius reading. I was trying to wait till my dogs calm down a little bit. They're making all kinds of noise this morning. But I really could not wait to get started on videos the rest of the week because I've been kind of noticing a trend. It used to be every Friday for like the past couple years, especially when I was working at my job. I would get triggered very, very badly, very bad emotional triggers. Something would come up, and then I'd be at work trying to work through it. I was drinking heavily. Sometimes I didn't even drink before I went to work because the triggers were so intense. I almost drank myself to death. If you did not see my video on addictions, do check that out. I was also smoking like maybe 2-3 packs of cigarettes a day, just because of the emotional triggers, because of my spiritual awakening, the path that I've been on. But now I'm not so much doing that on Fridays. I have been, getting triggered like Monday through like Wednesday. And with enough time for me to kind of work through it so that Thursday, Friday, Saturday I could get out and make money, which is why, I've been spending a lot of time at home on Mondays and Tuesdays, just kind of relaxing, listening to music. I've been doing a lot of sunbathing, just kind of laying outside, just doing things that make me happy, just really relaxing as I work through those things. So, I really haven't been getting triggered as badly because I've grounded myself in the fact that I know now that anything that does show up is here for my highest good, and it's here to teach me, it's here to serve me. And once you have that attitude, things don't affect you quite as badly. You're able to really kind of work through it. They're just making so much noise. I should just go lay down. Lay down. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started on this reading. Let me grab my sage. I left my lighter right here. Let me grab my sage. And I would like to call in my own soul, my shared soul, and my ancient soul knowledge, my soul energy, my soul vibration, my soul love, to help me with this video today. I've been connecting to all kinds of past lives and that transcend dimensions and time and space, which has been amazing. Really learn just how powerful the soul really is. The soul can be in many different places at one time. As I have said before, all these timelines of existence, of consciousness, are all happening at the same time, of which your soul is on. I do contribute that to being more tired at times, because especially, as I'm transmuting my lower energies, it takes a lot more energy. Lower vibrations, transmuting them into love, pure love, source energy, which is where we create from. We create from that. We're always creating. Our lower vibrations create too, but nothing we want to talk about. I have said this before. Look at all the times that your lower vibrations have created something in your life that you did not like, that was not what you cared for. So since you know that you can attract fears, attract something else, attract something from love. And that was just the cards that I needed. I am saying also that next week is going to be a light week. I'm going to only do my twin flame reading next week and the 4 elements, possibly runes readings. And then the week after that, the second week of August, there will be no videos. So I've been making that announcement. The first card that we have is the Queen of Ocean, Abundance. And this has to do with the fact that you already have everything that you need and you want. You just have to align to it. And how do you align to it? You align to it by showing gratitude. I had this crazy experience where we kept having this wild turkey run around our neighborhood. We don't know if it's somebody's pet or what, because, you know, I live in the city, but this wild turkey keeps showing up. So finally I came to the conclusion that I really had to channel the spiritual message that the turkey brought to me. Yes, turkeys, most birds are spiritual messengers. A turkey brings a message of abundance, and also expressing gratitude. Think Thanksgiving. The turkey is also associated with femininity, which was a theme for me because I'm working on my feminine energy right now. So the other message that's coming through too is that you may be getting some let's tape over spiritual messages as well that you might be overlooking. I know I've gotten spiritual messages on like billboards or the side of a bus. You could be seeing numbers right now, and understand numbers are light codes or activations. I'm learning a lot right now about being a star seed and being a Blu-ray and having otherworldly existences, and which is amazing. And so a lot of times these codes and these numbers and stuff are there to actually wake you up, to like activate ancient knowledge that you have, which is amazing, you know, which is why I feel very badly for people who are labeled as schizophrenic, who are really just having a spiritual awakening. Because we as human beings want to label everything. We want to understand it. And what we can't see, we don't understand. And there are people who are very closed off to the spirit world and very logical, and they don't want to believe that there's anything else out there. Or maybe they just believe what they were taught to believe, their religious beliefs, which, believe it or not, religion is not spirituality. Religion is, you know, really pretty much part of the matrix and the conditioning that we take on. I heard a story. I've been, like I said, I've been doing a lot of channeling and a lot of tapping into my ancient knowledge to learn about these otherworldly existences that I had. In doing so, I ran into a story which I thought was really interesting. I decided to share it today. This husband he had watched his wife for years make a roast. And every time she would make the roast, she would cut off both sides of the roast. And he would say, why is it that you cut off both sides of the roast? That's perfectly good meat. That's like 2 inches of good meat on both sides of the roast. Why do you do this? Because that's how you fix a roast. So he wasn't satisfied with this answer, so he went and asked her mother, his mother-in-law, and he said, your daughter told me that, you know, the way that you make a roast is that you cut off both sides. She said, yes. She said, that's how we've always made a roast. That's how you make a roast. Well, the husband still wasn't satisfied. So he went to his mother-in-law's mother, who was still alive. And he said, okay, I don't understand. Can you explain to me why your daughter and your granddaughter make a roast this way? Why they cut off both ends of the roast? And it's perfectly good meat. Why would they cut off 2 inches of meat on both ends of the roast? She said, well, I was, really poor and I didn't have much cookware. And in order to get the roast to fit into the cookware that I had to cut off 2 inches of the roast on both ends to get it to fit in there. And so they saw me do this, so they thought that's how you fix a roast. So the moral of the story is, a lot of times we take on things from our families that don't make any damn sense, that we don't question, that has just become a tradition. And most of us, especially if you're watching this video, are on a path of spiritual awakening. And this means that we are here to clear ancestral and family patterns that no longer resonate, that are no longer work for us, and maybe their beliefs about like the opposite race, the opposite sex or other races or other ethnicities, beliefs that we took on. And this is where, prejudices and racism and all these different divisions come up, because they're fear-based and they're taught. They're taught because we're not born to believe those things. We're created from pure source energy, which is love, of which fears and love are mutually exclusive. They're on two opposite polar ends. So I did want to describe that story. And so with this card here, basically the energy that I'm getting is this is that seeking card. We have the Queen of Cups, which is all about abundance, and also the Queen of the Ocean, It's not the Queen of Cups. The Queen of the Ocean, which is all about abundance. And then we have the Seeking card. And this is looking for something that's lost, looking for something that you cannot find. And the reason why you cannot find it is because you already have it. And it's the paradox is, once you stop looking for it, it will show up. Because seeking is a fear-based energy. It's a control-based energy. And when we try to control an outcome, we keep it away. Plus, we limit it. I don't know how many times my own soul tells me, because I would try to figure out how something was going to work out. I'd ask for it. Okay, I need help with this. And then I would sit and I would try to figure out how it was going to happen. Well, when you do that, you limit the universe, because you're creating stories. And as you create a story, it is so. As within, as without, as outwardly. I don't remember that expression, but whatever is inward is reflect in your outer world. And this involves your belief system and the stories that you tell yourself. And so if you tell yourself you don't have what it is that you need or want, then guess what? You don't. So that is the message I'm getting with that card. We have the Two of Swords, which means that you're at a crossroads. You're trying to choose your next move. And you've been doing this for a while. You've been stuck for a while, stagnant for a while. It's because you get comfortable. And as much as you love adventure, because you do love adventure, you love being able to return to the same thing and know that it's going to be there. So security is very important to you. And so therefore it's hard to change. Even if you know something is for your highest good, you still just stay in this energy of maintaining the status quo, because it's what you know. It's because that is what you're comfortable with, and that is what you're safe with. I once heard a story about Sagittarians that the true way to a Sagittarian heart is to have the best barn with the best treats, and to have it be the most comfortable for them to return to when they come home from their adventure. But do let them roam, because Sagittarians love to roam, but they love to have, they like to have the option to return to that comfort, that safety, that love. So if you're cross-watching for a Sagittarian, that is the magical energy, because they love that. They love that so much that sometimes even when it's no longer comfortable and it no longer is providing to them what they desire, they still stay for a while. You know, they may branch out, you know, philander a little bit, but they'll still come home. Because the Sagittarian always comes home. It's just really hard for them to level up. You know, let's say, you know, there's something better for you out there, but you're really scared of that change. But look at it as an adventure. Look at change as an adventure, and it'll be easier because you know that you love adventure. Now that one wanted to come out. You can't tell me it didn't. 2. Be yourself. This situation calls for you to be your authentic self, which is the basis for your personal power. So basically the message that I'm getting is that you are scared of rejection. You're scared that if you show your authentic self, that you're going to be rejected. And what the message that I'm getting is that your love interest wants to see your authentic self. Flaws, perceived flaws and all. Like maybe you have a past, or you know, maybe, you know, you're a little kinky sexually. I'm just, you know, and so maybe, you know, you're kind of scared of how that'll be perceived. Or trying to hold on to somebody because of fear of loss, and so you become this codependent chameleon. But mostly what I'm getting is, oh boy, my dog's being so loud this morning, I'm so sorry. Mostly what I'm getting is that you are scared that you're going to be too much, that maybe this person won't accept the fact that you know, you do need space from time to time. You do like to wander and roam, but you'll always come home. And you want them to understand this. You want them to realize this, because otherwise you feel like you're suffocating and you're not growing, and that you're stuck in this dead-end relationship. And so you're really, really scared to go all in. Maybe you just have one foot in right now because you're really scared you're going to lose your freedom. But the message that's coming through is if you're honest about it, and the right person will understand and will give you that space and freedom that you need. We have vegetarian. A new way of eating gives you more energy, greater health, clarity, and stronger manifestation abilities. So if you have been thinking about going on a plant-based diet, I'm a vegetarian. I've been transitioning back to being vegan. I was vegan, and I was vegetarian, and I was pesco vegetarian, and now I'm transitioning back, which is challenging. But the reason why I'm doing it is to maintain higher vibrations. Because I'm in the 40 kind of teeter-tottering right now. I'm working on being in the 5D, but being in the 5D involves a level of unconditional love and acceptance and forgiveness that is very hard for humans to attain. And so, you know, it takes a lot of meditation. It takes a lot of transmutation. That whole transmuting lower energies back into love, which is what I do. And so I've been having to eat more of a plant-based diet, because higher vibrational foods, to maintain my higher vibration. So if you've been thinking about going on a plant-based diet, the message coming through is that that would be good for you. If nothing else, at least maybe just eat poultry and fish for a while. That message is coming through for some of you too. Eliminate the pork and the beef. We have the 8 of Cups. Change. Change is coming. It's inevitable. So start preparing for it. Prepare yourself for it. And how do you prepare yourself for it? By being fluid, by going with the flow, by not being so, the message that's coming through is idealistic, because I feel like the reason why you're so stuck in your ways is because you're stuck in your belief system, of which, even though you know some of them no longer resonate, you're scared to think outside the box. Possibly, you know, maybe your family has always had these views. And so you almost feel like you're the torchbearer, you know, you're the keeper of traditions. But it's all right to release those traditions because none of us are our bodies. You've had other existences other than just this one. I know I had an experience which this was able to come up for me the other day. And I know it sounds trivial, but this was a story that was passed down in my family. My great-grandmother, you know, here in Indiana, she was walking down the street and John Dillinger tipped his hat to her. And somebody had, a couple of the news stations had posted a story about how they're trying to exhume John Dillinger's body, how they're trying to, you know, open up his grave for whatever reason. I didn't read it. I'm like, you know, leave him alone. Like, what's he done? He didn't done nothing. He's dead and gone, you know. He's not bothering anybody, you know. And so I had commented on there, you know, yeah, you know, this story had been in my family for years about this. And it was really cool. And then I thought, well, I should tell my son so he can pass the story on. And then I realized, you know what? Like, let me teach him how to connect to his soul knowledge so he can learn what all his soul has been, not just this existence here. So there's more to it than just that, than just what's happening here. And we are here to clear ancestral patterns. And tradition is not so important when it comes to the soul level, because a lot of times those traditions are based on fears, and we're trying to clear fears. Children. Your love life is being affected by children. No, this is not your children. This is you as a child. So once again, the message that's coming through is these childhood beliefs that we take on. We are born so pure, and we have so much faith and trust in the universe, and so much faith that our parents and our caregivers know what they're doing. Are we disappointed? But no judgment. I mean, no judgment, because being a parent is hard. And, you know, most of us are parents now, and we see now, we're like, man, that shit was hard. Sometimes you get thrown into situations where you have to survive, and you have to make tough decisions. And especially, you know, if you're, you know, lower, you know, you don't have as much money. Because I know when I was raising my kids, it was a struggle raising 4 children. It really was. And a lot of times we didn't have enough food or enough money, and I didn't know about, you know, the law of attraction then, that I kept attracting more and more poverty because that's what I was focused on, and that's what I was expecting. So do forgive your parents. Forgive them for the mistakes you feel like they made, because they did the best that they could with what they had and what they were faced with at the time, because I feel like this is a major block for you right now. 10 of Pentacles, luck. You create your own luck, and Sagittarians are very good at this, at creating their own luck. They've always managed to come out smelling like a rose, come out okay, come out on top. Opportunities, good jobs always find you. But do use that now. Use that attraction, that law of attraction that's always been at work, to attract maybe making more money and not having to work as hard for it. Maybe you're somebody who's always worked 2 jobs or always put in a lot of overtime. Use this law of attraction to manifest more money in less time, less effort, less energy. Use money mantras. I am a magnet for money. I attract money. The universe always has my back. I'm universally guided and supported. To clarify the 10 of Pentacles, we have the Magician. So that's what I'm saying about manifesting. And I have talked about magic before. I love magic. Magic is so much fun. Like, I do jar magic, candle magic. Do we need to do magic? No. We don't need to do magic, because all we need to do is tell ourselves a story and believe it, and that is all the magic that we need. But human beings need to see physical proof. That's the reason why people use symbols in religion, like crucifixes and rosary beads and stuff like this, because it helps them to have more faith, to believe. And that's kind of what magic does for me. Because if I do some sort of spell, I believe it. I believe it. And also it reinforces my belief in it. But really all you have to do is tell yourself a story and believe it and know it's true. Do not waver. And this is stepping into your co-creative power with the universe, because we are all gods and goddesses with amnesia, and you have to wake up to that fact. And we're all connected. All these gods and goddesses are connected, one consciousness. So you as a soul, since you were one of these gods or goddesses, and understand gender is not specific on the soul realm. So you could be a masculine energy right now and actually could be a divine goddess. So realize this. We have the Two of Pentacles options. And I feel like this also has to do with this Two of Swords. You are mentally conflicted about these two choices, and these two choices are in the physical realm. And these could be two choices between two people, two choices between maybe two jobs. Maybe you've been considering moving, and once again, it's that fear of change that you're scared to leave because of your comfort zone. Let me get a clarifier. This will give me an idea what these options are about, but this is just you believing me, because you guys have to have that proof, that physical proof that I am actually connecting to your energy, because that's how humans are. We have to have proof instead of trusting this King of Pentacles trust, which I'm going to get to that here in a minute. Fairies, earth magic. So the Pentacles are about earth. This is an earth energy. So it's interesting, the clarifier is this earth magic. So this lets me know that this definitely is something that is in the physical. So I feel like you're trying to ground something into your physical world. And this could possibly be a spiritual, soulful connection you have with another person. And so the time has come for you to make the choice that you want to ground this into your physical world. That it's been in the astral plane. It's been in the other dimensions. And it's been felt on the soul level. But the message that's coming through right now is challenging you to pretty much put your money where your mouth is and ground this into your physical world and make the decision, the conscious decision to make whatever changes are necessary to bring this into your world, because what you are seeking is seeking you also. This is mutual, and it is being guided. There's, angels and supporting you. This is being supported, and you know it's being supported. You feel this, and this is your confirmation. King of Pentacles, trust. This card is telling you to trust the outcome. You're going to have a positive outcome. I know you've been worried about losing something, about this change. Like, will you lose your independence, lose your freedom? You have to trust that you are aligning to what is for your highest good, and that this situation here is for you. Here, I know that that's a Pentacles card, but I am going to pull one of my Heart Oracle cards because I do feel like this is about love. Beautiful messages today. Beautiful. Soulmate. Your soulmate is already with you in spirit. Believe this, and they will manifest physically. You've already met the person that you desire, and you know this. And how will they manifest physically? You are your own block because you've been scared of it. You've been scared of leaving that barn, that stable that you've been returning to, and moving towards another stable that you share with somebody else. So this is the message that I'm getting, and it is safe for you to love. Let me pull one of these postcard oracle cards. That was this powerful reading. Oh my God, chills right now. I'm like so amazed. And y'all know that I'm a Scorpio and my divine partner is a Sagittarius, so I'm a little excited about this. All right. My dear you, it might be hard to believe you'll ever get to where you want to go, feel the way you want to feel, find peace and security, but you can. There's lots to celebrate in this life, but first you need to let go of the attachment to achieving certain results. It's easy to get caught in the endless loop of wanting this or that so that you can feel safe. I swear, y'all saw me just pull this right. The only way out is to surrender this attachment. Empty yourself so you can be filled with something new. The compulsion will be lifted and peace will come. Trust that something better awaits, that something new will open up, and you will see new opportunities for fulfillment. The truth is, whenever you get into the loop, what you're really looking for is spirit. That connection is where the power, the peace, and the purpose lies. Everything else follows after that. Give yourself a hug. We've got you, loving you so much. That was so beautiful. Yay! So remember, next week there will be, I will do 5 readings, twin flame. So if you're on a twin flame journey, you can expect that. Fire, water, air, and earth. And I'm probably going to use runes because I love using runes. And then the second week of August, there will be no videos. So I wanted to make that clear. If you'd like to have a personal reading this week, they're $40 all the way across the board. Twin flame, past lives, letting you know basically what's blocking you in the area of love, abundance. I will include it in the description of the video, my contact information. Thank you for watching.